Have you ever paused in the middle of a room staring blankly, forgetting why you walked in, brushing it off as nothing, when in fact that single moment might be a hidden warning? Your brain is whispering a secret red flag at 60 you're not supposed to ignore. Because while you tell yourself it's just aging, the truth is that forgetfulness at this stage isn't always innocent. It's sometimes the first shocking sign of something silently eroding the pathways in your brain. Something doctors quietly call mild cognitive impairment, which could be the slippery slope toward dementia. If you miss the early signals, and by the time most people notice the clock has already ticked too far, you see your brain isn't just forgetting, it's subtly rearranging priorities, pruning memories, discarding details you once held dear. And when you can't recall the name of an old friend or misplace your keys twice in a week, it's not laziness or distraction. It's your neurons faltering in their secret relay race, failing to pass the baton, and every forgotten word is a silent alarm bell ringing inside your skull. One that you've been conditioned to ignore because everyone forgets things at this age. But that's the lie that keeps too many in the dark until their own reflection in the mirror seems unfamiliar. And what if I told you that certain types of forgetfulness are more dangerous than others, like not remembering recent conversations, or appointments, struggling to follow familiar recipes, getting lost in once familiar neighborhoods, each one a hidden marker, a clue that your brain's navigation system is fraying beneath the surface. It's not just memory, it's judgment, decision-making, attention, the very core of who you are, being chipped away in small, almost invisible increments. And if you dismiss these signs, if you wave them away as mere senior moments, you might be letting something stealthy gain ground. Because Alzheimer's disease doesn't announce itself with a bang. It creeps in quietly, disguising itself in excuses you make for yourself. Stress, lack of sleep, distraction, until one day you realize you've been writing reminders everywhere, yet still forgetting what they meant. But there's an even more shocking truth studies have uncovered, that forgetfulness at 60 can sometimes be the first outward symptom of underlying health conditions you'd never associate with memory, like vitamin B12 deficiency, silently starving your nerves, thyroid dysfunction, clouding your brain. Even small strokes you didn't know you had called TIAs, leaving tiny scars that compound over time, so that every forgotten name isn't just a fluke, but a breadcrumb in a trail leading to something deeper, something fixable if caught early and dangerously irreversible if ignored. Have you ever considered that certain medications you take could be silently sabotaging your memory? That over-the-counter anticholinergics or prescription sleep aids might be dulling your mind day by day, and what seems like normal forgetfulness is actually drug-induced cognitive fog, a side effect hidden in the fine print you never read. And how often have you underestimated the role of diet in your brain's clarity? Do you know that high-sugar processed foods, chronic inflammation can erode neural connections like rust eating away at steel, making every sugary snack a small step toward cognitive decline, while omega-3s, antioxidants, and exercise can be secret weapons to sharpen memory and protect against the shadows creeping in. Imagine for a moment that the next time you forget a neighbor's name or struggle to find the right word, it's not a harmless lapse but a coded message from your brain begging for attention. A chance to intervene before more is lost, because the brain doesn't lose memories overnight. It erodes them slowly, subtly, like a tide pulling grains of sand from under your feet until you realize too late that the ground beneath you has vanished. And while you might think memory tests are only for those already diagnosed, the real secret is that early screening, cognitive exercises, brain health checkups should begin at 60, even earlier, because prevention is a race against time, and those who wait until symptoms are obvious are already playing catch-up against a disease that loves delay. So what should you do? Knowing this hidden danger lurks in the simple act of forgetting, you must become your own detective, tracking patterns in your forgetfulness, distinguishing normal distraction from ominous slips, seeking medical insight for every unexplained lapse, questioning every pill's side effect, nourishing your brain with food movement, sleep, challenging it with puzzles, learning new skills, forcing it to stretch instead of shrink. Because the shocking truth is that memory isn't just a passive archive. It's an active living network that needs to be fed, exercised, protected, and ignoring small forgettings is like ignoring cracks in a dam. They widen, they deepen, they burst. So, the next time you can't remember where you left something, don't just laugh it off. Ask why. Ask how often. Ask what else you've been missing. Because every forgotten name, every misplaced item, every story you struggle to recall is a piece of a larger puzzle, one that you have the power to solve before the picture fades. If only you dare to confront the warning signs now, to challenge yourself today to take control while you still can. Because the secret to a sharper, stronger mind at 60 isn't waiting until it's too late. It's acting boldly, urgently, decisively at the first quiet whispers of forgetfulness before they grow into a silence you can't reverse. And you might be surprised to learn that sleep, something so easily sacrificed in busy lives, is one of the most powerful hidden defenders of memory. That while you sleep, your brain cleans itself of toxins, consolidates memories, repairs neural pathways, and when you cut short those deep cycles, you rob your mind of its nightly restoration, setting the stage for subtle declines that feel like fog the next day, but accumulate over years into a frightening erosion. So the next time you trade sleep for a late-night show or restless tossing, remember that you're trading clarity for confusion, sharpness for slipping, and reclaiming your sleep is reclaiming your mind. And have you thought about the air? You breathe, the pollutants that creep unseen into your body, the silent exposure to heavy metals like lead or mercury that research shows can accumulate in the brain over decades, subtly contributing to cognitive decline. How often have you checked your environment, your water, your home for the hidden culprits that could be attacking your memory without you ever suspecting? It's not paranoia, it's prevention, it's awareness. Because every unseen risk you eliminate is a chain you break before it binds you. And did you know that chronic stress isn't just an emotional burden? It physically reshapes the brain, shrinking the hippocampus, the very center of memory, flooding your system with cortisol that in small doses helps, but in constant surges acts like an acid, eroding the delicate structures that hold your life stories together. So every time you push through another stressful day without relief, you're quietly pouring more of that acid into the fragile circuits you depend on. And finding ways to calm, to pause, to breathe deeply, to release isn't luxury. It's a vital protective act of defense for your brain's future. And what about your social life? Have you underestimated the power of conversation connection? Laughter, storytelling, and keeping your mind sharp, in building cognitive reserves, in weaving a protective web of neural pathways that delay decline? Studies show that loneliness isn't just a sadness. It's a cognitive risk factor as potent as smoking or obesity. And every moment you spend isolated is a moment you let your mental defenses weaken. So reaching out, staying connected, being part of a community, sharing your thoughts isn't just emotional, it's neurological armor. And did you know that music, art, dance, learning an instrument, engaging in creative pursuits lights up parts of the brain untouched by routine, that every time you challenge yourself creatively, you're forging new connections, building bridges, giving your mind backup routes in case others falter, creating a richer, deeper reservoir that protects you not just from forgetting facts, but from forgetting who you are. And so every day, every choice, every moment you decide to invest in your brain's health is a defiance against the silence that forgetfulness threatens to bring, a powerful, urgent, hopeful act to keep the lights on, to keep the stories alive, to ensure that at 60, at 70, at 80, you're not only remembering names, you're remembering yourself, your loved ones, your purpose, and walking boldly into each day, knowing that forgetfulness is not an inevitable slide, but a challenge you can face, fight, and slow if you choose to listen to. Act to honor every warning as a call to protect the greatest treasure you carry, your mind.